We're gonna go back to George.
Can we do one? Just have Bill talk about one other electric thing. I know you love electric.
It never ends, John.
Where you talked about having somebody reconcile our MISO bills, and Bill had checked into that a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. When a manufacturer manufactures a product like a disc or a hay baler, evolution's coming along. Well, this is part of our evolution of our MISO. And Marvin's, when I called him up after the last council meeting on your question, he goes, he was already doing it, already thinking ahead of it. When Scott and I were telling the council the bill shadowing, they wanted $1,500 a month, $18,000 a year to do that. That's when Marvin recommended not doing it because the benefit would outweigh the cost.
Right.
So that's we told you the truth on that one there. He recommended. That's the first one. I tell you what, you try to remember all this stuff. And he also said he wouldn't recommend doing nothing until after January 1st because everything's pretty well.
Well, I'm sure we got to have a track record once it gets started first before you even think about doing it.
He said, don't worry about MISO because realize they have resettlements and resettlements and resettlements. If they make a mistake, they're going to catch it down the road. So, but he says, don't worry about MISO on their billing. He said, you have more of a problem of somebody putting in the wrong number than MISO gets their billing out of. So that's what you have to look at. Basically like that. Last contract we did. And he is also, he's even had other companies contact him wanting him to train them how to do this. But he's going to put out a proposal himself. He's going to prepare us a letter before the first of the year of exactly what we talked about, or what you brought up the ideas, which is a good thing. So.
We talked a little bit about maybe just having him do a sample too, and he was open to the idea of just doing a sample, not a routine check, but just check and sample, and he was going to provide us some cost on that too.
Okay.
Then
You mean a random?
Yes, just probably a one-shot snapshot to see if it's working like it should.
Then since they're going to base it on Fonda's power use, that's going to be cheaper for us, isn't it?
that's the original highlighed. That's what he
Fonda's
said.
on ours.
My question to him, I said, how many other towns have done this? That's why I said that.
Fonda, that sounds good.
I said, is Fonda's power factor better than ours? He goes, why? But he pointed that. He goes, oh, I guess I should have proofread that before I sent it to you. But at least we're being treated the same. But, one other issue that came up last week, John, that was when you were in, on the REC, the underbill.
Right.
It just so happens, the 2 miles we're underbuilt on REC, it's 4 miles north of the golf course, and that intersection runs. We're underbuilt on the REC line. REC is rebuilding that, and the foreman told me either this fall or this winter. Well, we're underbuilt on it. So I called our engineer about it because we haven't got the FEMA approval on it. And we're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place on this deal. And he recommended just having them use their engineer and their bidding process, which is the standard REA bidding process. And then as soon as they're doing the engineering work right now, and then when they go out for bids, we'll get all that paperwork, so I keep you guys up to date. But it kind of just hit me. You called me at 10:30 and said be there at 11 o'clock. So it's not how I like to plan things, but we're underbuilt on their lines, and
You don't have a choice.
no, it's a lot. And in that case, we don't have to buy the poles. All we got to buy is the cross arms and the wire.
This was 2 miles that was included in our FEMA reconductoring application. Okay, so we would propose that this is going to get reimbursed to us by FEMA anyway if we ever get approved for that. But we've kept in touch with the FEMA guy, as far as what the procedures are to make sure that we're, just staying compliant with everything they need. So we're compliant thus far.
That it?
And I hope FEMA approves all of our things.
Who are we?
REC's building 100 miles, how can I say this, prior approval. 100 miles, you're talking, our engineer's estimate is 44,000 miles.
Guess their rates will be going up too, huh?
How much
And
longer than
they're hiring us right now, aren't they?
Like quite a little.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that gets back to buying cattle, remember that?
Make money when you buy them.
It's 100, the simplest words, that just hit it the nail on the head.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
See you next month.
Yeah, 2 weeks, Tim.
Oh, okay.
That's it by your roof.